Soviet buses were not just a means of transportation, but also a reflection of the development and engineering of their time. From the first rudimentary models of the 1920s to the sleek and advanced designs of later decades, these vehicles shaped everyday life in the Soviet Union. But beyond their functionality, some buses are more or less the same. They stood out for their aesthetics, with aerodynamic, modern, and eye-catching designs. Today, we'll explore some of the most stylish and beautiful Soviet models that defined an era. ZIL-16, elegance in times of war. In 1938, the Moscow automotive plant launched the ZIL-16, an urban bus built on the chassis of the ZIL-5 truck. Its structure combined a wooden frame with a metal covering, giving it a look that was both sturdy and refined. Under the hood, it featured a 5.6-liter, 84-horsepower ZIL-1 gasoline engine, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. Inside, it offered 27 seats and could accommodate up to 34 passengers, although its aerodynamic design made it stand out on the streets of Moscow. The war changed its fate. During the Great Patriotic War, many ZIL-16s were adapted to transport the wounded or equipped with gas generators to cope with fuel shortages. After the war, some were rebuilt on ZIL-150 chassis, extending their service until the mid-1950s. Despite its historical importance, no original example has survived to this day. Start, the futuristic minibus. In 1963, the Severodonetsk Automobile Repair Base brought the start to life, a minibus with such an avant-garde design that it looked like something out of a science fiction movie. Its fiberglass body was mounted on a GAZ chassis 21, and it housed a 2.4-liter engine with 75 horsepower, along with a 3-speed manual gearbox. But what really made the start special was its interior. With room for 10 passengers, it offered uncommon luxuries. At the time, it featured a sink, a cabinet for dishes, and even a multifunctional table that also served as the engine cover. Its exterior design, with a sloping rear end similar to that of a sedan, made it look more like a luxury vehicle than a minibus. It's no wonder that some Soviet film studios, like Mosfilm, used it in their productions. In fact, the start appears in the final scene of the iconic film Kidnapping, Caucasian Style. Despite its innovation, only about 150 units were produced up until 1970, making it a true rarity. 8. LAZ697 Tourist, the luxury bus. Designed for intercity travel and excursions, the LAZ697 Tourist began production in 1959 at the Lviv bus factory. Its structure was made up of a base of rectangular tubes that gave it rigidity, with the engine located in the rear. Initially, it was equipped with a ZIL-158 gasoline engine with 109 horsepower, but in 1961 it was upgraded with a powerful ZIL-130 V8 with 150 horsepower. The interior was truly luxurious for its time. Its 34 seats were equipped with reading lights, ashtrays, and racks for storing newspapers. In the roof, a hatch with a soft panel allowed for ventilation. Additionally, it featured heating, a cooling system with a humidifier, and a radio with a microphone, ideal for tour guides. Its leaf spring suspension with additional corrective springs ensured a smooth ride no matter the load. Visually, the LAZ697 was a gem. Its rounded shapes and large curved windows gave it a modern and elegant look. In 1958, its design was recognized with a gold medal and an honorary diploma at the Brussels International Exhibition. Production of the 697 Interurban series continued until 1982, when it was replaced by the LAZ699 family. ZIL118 Yunost, a luxury bus for the Soviet elite. The ZIL118 Yunost was not an ordinary bus. Designed in 1963 by the ZL factory in honor of Likachev, this model was reserved for the highest echelons of the Soviet government. It not only served as transportation for official delegations, but was also used as a base for elite ambulances intended for high-ranking officials. From its conception, the ZIL118 was designed to stand out. Its fully metallic self-supporting body was reinforced with a front subframe connected to the main structure by longitudinal beams, giving it unmatched solidity. On the mechanical side, it incorporated components from the luxurious ZIL111 limousine, while its mechanical heart came from the robust ZIL130 truck. A 6-liter V8 engine with 150 horsepower, paired with a 2-speed automatic transmission. To improve its maneuverability, it was equipped with power steering, an independent front suspension with springs, and a rear suspension with leaf springs, ensuring a stable and comfortable ride. These features allowed it to reach a top speed of 120 km per hour, although according to test drivers, it could easily exceed 140 km per hour without any issues. All of this, combined with an elegant design by Eric Sabo and Alexander Olkanetsky, made it a true masterpiece on wheels. The interior of the ZIL118 reflected its luxury status. Its spacious seats, designed for maximum comfort, were complemented by features such as individual lighting, ashtrays, and coat hangers. The sound insulation was top-notch, while the ventilation and heating system kept the interior comfortable in any weather conditions. The Yunost didn't just impress in the Soviet Union. In 1967, during International Bus Week, this Soviet minibus swept up 12 awards, outperforming all its international competitors. Its prestige grew to such an extent that, in April 1970, Henry Ford II visited the ZL factory and expressed interest in acquiring the production license for the American market. However, the proposal was rejected. Despite its excellence, the ZIL118 never went into mass production. Only about 100 units were made, and of the most iconic versions from the first series, just a few dozen. Today, only 4 examples survive, now true gems of automotive history. 6. Pause. Tourist Lux. The Soviet bus that dazzled France. The PAZ Tourist Lux was a milestone in the history of Soviet transportation. Designed in 1970 by the Pavlovo Bus Factory, PAZ. This model was developed for intercity and tourist travel, setting a new standard for comfort and technology in the Soviet Union. This was the first PAZ bus with a rear engine, which significantly improved its weight distribution and passenger comfort. Its mechanical heart was a 6-liter, 150 horsepower engine derived from the reliable ZIL130, combined with a 5-speed manual transmission. The design of the PAZ Tourist Lux was led by engineer Mark Vasilievich Demidov. At 8.5 meters long and with a sleek, bright white color, its appearance evoked modernity and sophistication. Its interior was designed for comfort: 24 adjustable seats, individual lighting, forced roof ventilation, and large curved panoramic windows that offered spectacular views. Behind the passenger compartment, this bus offered unusual luxuries for its time, such as a minibar, a wash basin, and a coat closet. Additionally, the luggage compartment could be accessed both from the outside and the inside. The LAZ Tourist Lux had its international debut in Nice, France, where it made such an impression that it was awarded the Grand Prize of the President of the French Republic. Although modifications and improvements were planned, unfortunately it never went into mass production. The Accaris 55 Lux. This magnificent vehicle was truly the rocket of the Soviet highways. If there was indeed one iconic intercity bus that profoundly made its indelible mark across the vast expanse of the Soviet Union, it was undoubtedly the legendary Accaris 55 Lux. Brake time equals 0.5s/. Manufactured in Hungary since 1953, this model became a key part of Soviet transportation, despite not being domestically produced. The Accaris 55 stood out for its aerodynamic monocoque design. Its distinctive engine compartment protruded at the rear and housed a Hungarian Seipel 6-cylinder diesel engine with 8.3 liters of displacement and 170 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed manual transmission. Equipped with power steering and leaf spring suspension with hydraulic telescopic shock absorbers, it offered a stable and comfortable ride. Its capacity for 45 passengers arranged in an airplane-style layout made it stand out on long-distance routes. From its launch, the design of the Accaris 55 was celebrated as futuristic and cutting-edge. It was nicknamed Satellite, Rocket, and Vacuum Cleaner because of its aerodynamic silhouette. With more than 3,000 units exported to the Soviet Union, this model remained in service until the 1980s, when it was replaced by the modern Accaris 250. Its legacy endures as one of the most iconic buses of the Soviet era. A true rocket that defined an era on the roads of the Eastern Bloc. Fourth, ZIL127, the pioneer of Soviet intercity transport. If we're talking about the first major intercity bus of the Soviet Union, the ZIL127 proudly takes the title. Born at the ZIL factory in 1955, this highway giant marked a turning point in long-distance mobility. Its body, a corrugated steel monocoque, not only gave it an imposing and aerodynamic appearance, but also improved its structural strength. Its design was simple, yet functional. A single door at the front allowed passengers to board. Under the hood, a 6-cylinder, 2-stroke diesel engine with a displacement of 7 liters and 180 horsepower powered it energetically, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission. One of its revolutionary features was the introduction of power steering, a novelty at the time that drastically improved its maneuverability. Additionally, its suspension system with double-acting hydraulic shock absorbers and semi-elliptical leaf springs ensured a comfortable and stable ride even on rough roads. Inside, 32 seats inspired by aeronautical design offered reclining backrests and adjustable headrests, along with individual lights and ventilation. As if that weren't enough, the bus also featured mesh luggage racks and storage compartments under the floor. Despite its innovation and reliability, the ZIL127 was retired in 1961. Changes in vehicle size regulations and the decision to move intercity bus production to Hungary marked its end, with only 851 units produced. A classic that left its mark. The LAZ697 a truly robust and highly capable all-terrain vehicle, was a vital asset for the Soviet Army. If the vast and diverse Soviet Union ever found itself in need of a dependable and versatile bus that could effortlessly conquer even the most challenging and hostile terrains without showing any signs of strain or breaking a single sweat, then the LAZ697, with its legendary off-road prowess, was undoubtedly the ultimate and most fitting answer to that critical requirement. Built between 1985 and 1987 at the Central Automobile Repair Plant number 172 in Voronezh. This model was specifically designed for the Ministry of Defense and built on the chassis of the legendary LAZ697 military truck. Its design was pure Soviet pragmatism, a metal body with straight lines and flat windows, with an interior that housed 19 seats. As for its mechanics, it wasn't much different from its truck sibling. With a ZMZ V8 engine of 4.3 liters that produced 120 horsepower, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, its top speed was 70 kilometers per hour, enough to move safely through hostile terrain. Where the LAZ697 really shined was in its off-road capabilities. It featured selectable all-wheel drive and a tire pressure regulation system, which allowed it to move easily over snow, mud, or rough terrain. Additionally, it had a special hatch for transporting stretchers, and its heating system reused engine heat, ideal for the extreme climates of the Soviet Union. However, its production run was short. Only 800 units were manufactured in 2 years before it was replaced by van-type buses based on the same chassis. Even so, its legacy in the Army remained as a reliable and rugged vehicle. Number 1. KABZ 4959. The bus that was born from a special request. It's not every day that a political leader asks for a custom-made bus, but that's exactly what happened with the KABZ 4959. In 1985, the first Secretary of Kyrgyzstan, Turdukan Yusubuyev, requested the development of a new model to improve transportation in his country. And that's how this unique van-type bus was born, based on the long chassis of the ZIL118 The problem to solve was clear. Kyrgyz transport operators were dissatisfied with the performance and braking system of the KABZ 685, the predominant model at the time. The solution was pragmatic: adapt the passenger module from the KABZ 49471 with minimal changes, thus creating a new vehicle with better stability and load capacity. The tests for the KABZ 4959 were carried out at the Ustyan bus depot within the State Transport Company of Kyrgyzstan. With satisfactory results, the green light was given for its production at the Tokmak Automobile Repair Plant. A bus born out of necessity and perfected for the daily life on Kyrgyz roads. Number 1. Nami 159. A vision ahead of its time. If there was a Soviet bus that looked like it came from the future, it was the Nami 159. Designed in 1969 and built in 1974, this prototype was packed with innovations that, had they succeeded, would have changed urban transportation forever. Powered by a ZIL375 engine with 180 horsepower and a hydromechanical automatic transmission, its steering system was a rarity: 2 front steering axles and a third wheel placed further forward than usual. Its body, based on the LAZ696, had 3 doors with 4 panels each, featuring a structure of rectangular tubular profiles and an exterior aluminum cladding. But the crown jewel was its driver's cabin, elevated to the second level. To access it, a foldable ramp was designed on the left side, with a platform and handrail that folded against the body when not in use. It was also equipped with a power takeoff to install a lift platform for wheelchairs, something far ahead of its time. Although several of its innovations were patented, the Nami 159 never went into production, and its only prototype ended up abandoned in a scrapyard. A technological dream that, unfortunately, never came true. Which of these Soviet buses do you find most impressive? Let us know your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this and you're passionate about the world of trucks, you're sure to love this one. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any videos about these giants of the road.